Yeah, hello everyone. I hope you are good. Today I have invited Maya again with another new topic. Okay, how are you, Maya? Are you ready for the interview?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. And yeah, I'm all set. Let's do this.
So, okay, so today we are
I'm
going to
listening.
talk about the topic that is the importance of lifelong learning in a fast changing world. So, Maya, my first question from you is that what does lifelong learning mean to you in today's world?
To me, it's basically the shift from seeing education as a phase you finish in your 20s to seeing it as a permanent lifestyle. In a world that moves this fast, it's less about getting a degree and more about staying curious. It's that willingness to be a beginner over and over again, even when you're already an expert in your field.
That's a very important point that even if you are expert in your field, still you need to learn new things in this fast pacing, changing world. So why is lifelong learning becoming more important than ever before?
Because the half life of skills is shrinking. What was cutting edge 5 years ago is often basic or even obsolete now. If you stop learning the moment, graduate or get a job, you're essentially betting that the world will stop changing, which we know isn't happening. It's really about adaptability, the ability to pivot when the tools or the industry shifts under your feet.
Yeah, you are right. Everything is changing daily on the daily basis. So how is technology changing the way people learn new skills?
It's completely democratized knowledge. We've gone from needing a physical library or a specific classroom to having the world's information in our pockets. But the real shift is in the format. Instead of just long form lectures, we have micro learning, interactive simulations, and AI that can personalize a lesson to how we actually think. The barrier to entry is gone. Now, the only real hurdle is the discipline to actually start.
Yeah. So, as you were talking about AI, what role does AI play in modern education and self-learning?
AI is basically like having a personal tutor that never gets tired. It can take a complex topic and break it down into something simple or challenge you with specific questions to find where your gaps are. Instead of a one size fits all curriculum, AI lets you learn at your own pace and focus exactly on what you don't know. It turns learning from a passive experience into a real conversation.
Exactly. AI never get tired as I remember that when I was in my school and universities, when we ask one question more than one time from our teachers, they get tired and they get frustrated.
Haha, yeah, that's the classic experience. There's always that one teacher who makes you feel like you're ruining their day just by being curious. That's the beauty of this. You can ask the same question 10 different ways until it finally clicks, and there's zero judgment.
Wow, yes, with the zero judgment, you are saying right. So, and do you think that traditional education alone is enough for future success?
Honestly, no. Traditional education is great for building a foundation and learning how to think, but it's too slow to keep up with the actual pace of the world. A degree proves you can commit to something for a few years, but it doesn't guarantee you can adapt to a tool that was invented 6 months after you graduated. Success now is more about your learnability than what's written on your diploma.
Exactly. When we get graduated after 6 months, the tools and the different concepts and all the things gets changed. So it's very important to be in touch with what is coming new. So, what do you think that what are some of the biggest challenges people face when trying to continue learning?
I think the biggest one is the mental friction of starting. It's intimidating to be a novice again, especially if you've been successful in your career for a while. Then there's the sheer noise. There's so much information out there that people get paralyzed by choice and don't know where to start. And of course, the classic struggle with time. It's hard to prioritize a new skill when you're already exhausted from the daily grind.
So, how can students develop a habit of continuous learning from a young age?
Starts by separating learning from schooling. Students need to realize that learning isn't just something you do for a grade or a test, but something you do because you're curious. Encouraging them to follow their own rabbit holes, those random topics they're obsessed with, shows them that discovery is rewarding. If you can make curiosity a habit early on, the actual act of studying becomes way less of a chore.
Okay, so how can online courses and remote learning platforms help people grow professionally?
They remove the geographic and financial walls that used to keep people out. You can learn a specialized skill from a world class expert in another country without leaving your house. But more than that, it allows for just in time learning. Instead of spending 4 years on a general degree and hoping it's useful, you can identify a specific gap in your professional skill set and bridge it in a few weeks with a targeted course. It makes professional growth agile.
Exactly, when you are doing 4 years or 8 year degrees, then after that you are still not specialized in one thing that you have to continue. After the degrees, you are still asking that what we have to do. So it is very important to be specialized in one thing. Okay, so in your opinion, which skills will be most important to learn in the future?
I think the most valuable skills won't be technical ones since AI is handling more of the how to, but rather the human ones critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and the ability to synthesize information from different sources. Basically, the skill of knowing how to ask the right questions and how to manage people and complex emotions. Technical skills will still matter, but the ability to be an agile, empathetic thinker is what's going to be irreplaceable.
Yeah, I am thinking that in the future, if AI is doing everything, then what we will be doing?
That's the big question, right? I think we'll shift from being the doers to being the architects. We'll spend less time on the repetitive manual execution and more time on the vision, the strategy, and the creative direction. We'll be the ones defining the why and the what, while AI handles the how. It actually pushes us to be more human, focusing on ethics, taste, and genuine connection, because those are the things a machine can't actually feel or experience.
Exactly. In the future, everything AI will tell us the strategies, the planning, and all the things that we just need to implement that. And yeah, so how can parents encourage children to become lifelong learners?
I think the biggest thing parents can do is model the behavior. The kid sees their parents reading, taking a class, or even just admitting, I don't know how this works. Let's find out together. It normalizes the idea that not knowing everything is okay. Instead of praising the A on the report card, praise the curiosity. When a child asks a why question for the 100th time, lean into it. If you treat curiosity as a superpower rather than a nuisance, they'll carry that hunger for knowledge with them for life.
Yeah, exactly. Not knowing everything is okay. That's a beautiful lines that It's not important to learn everything. You have to learn what is needed. And that is what we call demand on learning. Okay, so can how can freelancing and remote work motivate people to keep learning new skills?
It creates a direct link between learning and earning. In a traditional job, you might get a raise based on seniority, but in freelancing, your income is tied directly to your value in the market. If a new tool comes out that makes you twice as fast or allows you to offer a new service, you can immediately monetize that. It turns learning into a survival skill and a competitive advantage, which is a pretty powerful motivator.
Yes, true. Okay, so what are some easy ways busy people can continue learning every day?
I'm a big fan of dead time learning. Think about the time spent commuting, doing dishes, or walking the dog. That's prime time for podcasts or audiobooks. Another one is the 5-minute rule. Instead of trying to find an hour of deep study, just commit to one article or one short video during a coffee break. If you lower the barrier to entry, you stop seeing learning as a daunting task on your to do list and start seeing it as a series of small, easy wins.
So whenever you have time, like especially the females, those who are doing their household chores during that, they can listen some audios to learn something new. Okay, so how what mindset should people adopt to succeed in the future?
A growth mindset is the only way to go. You have to move away from the idea that your intelligence or talents are fixed. Instead, adopt the belief that your brain is like a muscle. The more you challenge it, the stronger it gets. The most successful people in the future won't be the ones who already have all the answers, but the ones who aren't afraid to be wrong and are obsessed with figuring things out. Basically, replace I can't do this with I can't do this yet.
It to be wrong. Yeah. So finally, what message would you like to share with young people about continuous learning and growth?
My message would be don't let the fear of starting over stop you. You're going to be a beginner a lot more often than you think, and that's actually where the magic happens. Don't just chase the degree or the certificate, chase the curiosity. The world is changing fast, but as long as you stay curious and keep asking why, you'll never be obsolete. Just keep exploring.
Okay, so thank you so much, Maya, with this strong message that keep on asking why and do not forget to be curious and try to learn new things on the daily basis. When you are curious, then only you can learn the new things. So, with this strong message of Maya, we are going to end this conversation and I will invite Maya again with some another topic next day. Thank you, Maya, for joining me and being my guest. Bye bye.
It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me. See you next time.